We at DeRosa are lucky enough to be affiliated with BiggerPockets.
You and I were talking to a guy that flips farms in Iowa. Flips farms in Iowa. I didn't know that was a thing.
What's going on, DeRosa Insiders? This is Matt Faircloth, and welcome, capital W, welcome to the Cash Flow Digest. My name is Matt. Our company's called the DeRosa Group, and we're a real estate company dedicated to transforming lives through real estate, doing big things here at DeRosa. Yet again, we've got another great episode teed up for you guys here for the Cash Flow Digest. Please take a minute by giving this episode a good review, a 5-star rating, in whatever way you choose to give this episode some love. If you guys are lucky enough to be a member of our DeRosa Insiders community, and you guys are watching this program live, where we go every Friday at noon Eastern, every Friday morning, I'm super, super grateful for you guys. We've got thousands of people in the DeRosa Insiders community. Go to Facebook right now and join DeRosa Insiders, DeRosa Insiders on Facebook, and join that community. It is free because it is an awesome community that we put out there as a thank you, as a give back to those that are following us. Gratitude and thank you if you guys are watching on Insiders. Either way you guys are watching, thanks for being a part of this program. You guys have noticed I've lost my voice because this is what happens when you run around BPCON for a couple of days straight and drink lots of coffee and lots of other stuff and have lots of fun and talk to lots of people and have lots of laughs and probably talk in big loud rooms. That's just what we had to do the last couple of days. So I'm a little hoarse, but I'm still Matt and I'm still here to be here with you guys. Anyway, great program teed up for you guys. We're going to talk about some cool stuff, and the DeRosa team is here with me in a minute to talk to you guys about BPCON and talk to you about how it went, some lessons that we got and some things that we want to bring home from it. Okay. I'm going to bring it in the cavalry. We'll bring her in first because I love her. She's got the best last name ever. Tara Smiley joining me today. What's up, Tara? How are you?
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. You know, I'm spectacular. Fancy seeing you. I saw you just a couple days ago at BPCON, right? And we're going to be bringing in the Hervé Francois. How are you, Hervé?
Very well, thank you.
You two with your fancy backgrounds. Guys, thank you for being here. And so much fun at BPCON. We're going to be talking about BPCON here. We at DeRosa are lucky enough to be affiliated with BiggerPockets. And that affiliation happened years and years and years ago when my lovely wife, Liz, kicked the door in at BiggerPockets for us, right? I became the Trojan horse, and it's like I smuggled in Justin, Hervé, Tara, hey, come on, guys, let's all hop in, right? And over the years, we've been able to do cool stuff like written a book for them, Raising Private Capital. Me, Hervé, and Justin and Tara all teach the multifamily boot camp for them. So like Hervé and Tara, I've been around this world for a while. Was it somewhat surreal to meet people face to face that have seen you guys online, whether it's in YouTube videos or in the boot camps or whatever, the boot campers that know your face, know your likeness, like, hey, aren't you that guy in the boot camp or that gal in the boot camp? Isn't it? What was that like being in an environment like that? I've been doing it enough that I've kind of got used to it. But for you guys, what was that? How does that feel?
Well, I'll be honest, like for me, because this was my first BPCON, you know, it was surreal on two levels. One, I'm seeing faces of people that, you know, their podcasts that I follow. You know, like, okay, now I got a name to put with a face in a real life body. This is amazing. You get a little starstruck, right? And then, you know, to get to meet boot campers that I've talked to for, you know, a couple of weeks or a couple of months or haven't seen in a year, and to get to hear their stories and to get to hear their updates. I mean, it's just fantastic. It makes a heart happy for sure.
That's awesome. Hervé, you told me a few things a bit that people were starting to do the recognition thing, like, you know, whatever. So how's that been for you in knowing these communities you've been serving over the years with the multi-boot? Because it's been a while with the multi-boot camp. You've been on that team, right? How's that been as you go to these conferences and you meet people that you've made a real difference with and that have got to know you through that brand?
Yeah, man, listen, it's been refreshing. You know, I mean, really finally being able to put a face to the name of people that, you know, you speak to on a weekly basis, whether it's on boot camp or office hours. It started for me at the airport. I was standing in line to get on the plane to fly down to Orlando and say, hey, you're that guy? I was like, oh, wow, you know, kind of a little paparazzi type feeling, type, you know, so it's cool. It's fun. The comments that go with not only putting a face to the name, but saying, hey, listen, you made a real difference. I like your office hours. I love what you guys teach. You know, can you tell me more and everything else like that? They want to get your contact information so they can follow up and everything else like that. I think you guys know me very well, that I'm as genuine as can be with them. And I think they love that because they realize that there's really no phoniness between meeting me in person versus having to get to know me over boot camp hours or office hours or anything else like that, right? So now you're having a drink with them. Maybe you're sitting down and eating lunch with them outside and so on and so forth. So, you know, now you're talking personal life about family and what they do for work and, of course, what they want to do in the real estate world and things like that. So it's every year I'm meeting folks in that manner, but every year it's fun. It never gets old. It never gets old. It never gets boring.
That's really cool. That's really cool. What are like some of your takeaways from the conference, from some of the things that you learned, from any of the, I mean, I'll give for me is that nobody's 100% sure where things are going, right? In that, like, there's so many variables that have been introduced to the market. And I've bought people that are bullish to buy now. And I've bought people that are like batten down the hatches and about to move into a cave because they think the whole thing's about to fall apart, right? So both ends of the spectrum. And they both have good data as to why they're right, you know? And we are in a most unknown time right now with regards to what tomorrow will bring for the real estate economy. I felt a lot of that at BPCON as I talked to people. So I got that. And there's always opportunities in the unknowns. And that's why I got connected to that. And I got connected to how many people still want to grow their businesses and be active in real estate, a la 2,700 people that attended that conference, right? So that's what I took from it. What were some of your main takeaways, Tara?
So I think you're right. I think it was, you had your facets of the group that was like, okay, it's a go time, regardless of anything else, adjust and go. And then the other half was like, no go, no goes, right? I think regardless, whether I was talking to people that have been doing this for years and years and years, and they've got their systems down, or these are people that are like, all right, I'm dipping my toe in. I love the spirit. Like, I think that was my biggest takeaway. It's that people want to learn. They are, they have reservations about a market, sure, but they're also willing to learn all the different workarounds. And if the market is not right for them, here's what they're going to do in the meantime to get themselves ready. And so I think that kind of indomitable spirit was just pervasive through the entire conference. I fed off of that motivation.
Yeah. So even though unknown, there's still a strong desire to
Very
get
much.
it. They're not daunted by the unknown.
Mhm.
Awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
Hervé, what were some of your takeaways?
Yeah, man, education, right? I mean, there was a lot of presentations talking about so many different topics, raising money, asset management, and finding markets and 1031 exchanges. I, sat in part of a 90-minute presentation on what's going to happen to the housing market in 2024. And at the end of it is, it's going to either go 5% or it's going to decline 5%. After all the tables and the charts that were up there, I was like, wow. I said, this guy's bullish. No, this guy's bearish. He's all over, so I mean, but folks were absorbing the education. The education is not only what you listen into on the presentations, but man, the networking of people in the hallways and the unique investment strategies people are following. You think it's just multifamily or single family houses, but Matt, you and I were talking to a guy that flips farms in Iowa. I didn't know that was a thing. I've heard of mobile home parks and self-storage and industrial and office and single and multi. This guy does farms, flipping them.
Did one of y'all tell me about the minor league hockey guy?
He was different.
There's a guy like that's his only niche, his only tenant is someone that plays in the minor league hockey circuit.
Yes,
right?
yes.
That is who he's built around.
He's got his market nailed down. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So the networking was absolutely, it's absolutely amazing at that. I mean, I heard already from some folks that attended that for next year, they may, but the hustlers may not even pay the fee to attend the conference. They may just attend the location of the conference to meet people in the hallway.
Yeah.
Forget the sessions. Let's just network.
I've attended conferences I went to a best ever a couple of years ago, and I wasn't speaking, and so I literally just hung out by the coffee machine and talked to people I knew all day long.
There you go.
Just talk to my friends.
That's it.
Cool. What are other highlights there? Hey guys, that is Peter C. Okay. Now Peter Chung is an interesting dude, man. He runs a ramen noodle shop on the corner of it's in Hell's Kitchen in New York City. I cannot wait to get there because I have celiac disease, so I can't eat wheat. But Peter has a gluten-free ramen noodle product that I cannot wait to get in me up at his ramen noodle store up in New York City in Hell's Kitchen. I think it's on 60th and 9th, I think, Hervé, which is right in the Hell's Kitchen district. Tara and Hervé, tell us a bit about this man. Go back. There he is. Leave it there. Whatever it is.
I'll be honest. If anybody has the ability or opportunity to meet with Peter, do it. The energy and excitement that rolls off of this guy is just phenomenal. So Peter's been in boot camp with us a couple times, right?
4 times.
He's we call him 4-Pete.
4-Pete.
Yeah, 4-Pete, right?
3-Pete, he 4-Peted.
But this man is building a multifaceted empire and is like the perfect guy of an example of just does not understand the concept of no. In his mind, there is nothing that he can't do. And I'll be honest, you get to hang out with him. I'm a firm believer that he's right.
Yeah, I love his energy. It is contagious. He's one of the most positive-minded people, curious and positive in the combination of both. And I think that's what it takes in some ways to be successful on the acquisition/capital raising side of this business. He's also centered in the financial center of the universe of New York City in that. So I think he's great. Any thoughts on Peter C., a good friend of ours there?
I think for the fact that he is a for Bigger Pockets boot camp, sessions that, he's one that really embraces the community. He loves the community. He attended a property tour of us earlier this year down in Winston-Salem. And so he really believes in the power of networking and getting to know people and meet people. He came to our happy hour event on Monday evening. I met his business partner for the first time because he brought her along as well. Really, really nice person, nice investor as well. So he's all in, man. He's a big believer in who we are and what we do and what we stand for, transforming lives through real estate. So it's great to have him as part of our tribe, if you will. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of Peter's.
Awesome. Next pick. Show us a few more that you got here in the archives. That's awesome. There's Peter and the team there. That's our booth, by the way, guys, that we had there at BPCON. Super exciting. Lots of fun interactions we had with the 2,700 people there at the conference. What else you got? Cheers to you, BPCON. I think that's you, Tara, isn't it?
Oh,
I know it is because there's a nice coffee in the picture.
Yeah, the coffee.
Well, so I mean, in fairness, our journey to BPCON started. We had a 7 a.m. flight, so we were in Raleigh by like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Which means that I had Starbucks in my hand by 5:30.
As soon as they opened up. Yeah.
Great.
It would be great to know. I don't know if we'll ever find this, our hand on this number, but just the amount of traffic that stopped by our booth at the conference over that 3-day period. I mean, we had a lot of traffic. Folks that were picking up, folks that were stopping by to say hi. Hey, you guys are the ones that run that Bigger Pockets multifamily boot camp. Yeah. Some were, of course, learning about our educational business, our income fund, and so on and so forth. So we had a lot of great traffic. We had a lot of great traffic.
I'll just touch this real quick. This going back one. This is a great. We got the opportunity to teach a group of people about the multifamily superpowers, the core 4 method that we talk about a lot at DeRosa, which is our ability to just break down the efforts, the initiatives, the personalities, the people that it takes to be successful in multifamily, the hunter, the brain, the hammer, and the money. And we ran a great session. I think people really had some eye-opening moments in looking at themselves in the mirror and figuring out who they really are and how they fit into multifamily in that session. I think it went great. It went better. It went, it went amazing. And I think that I'm really grateful for BP for giving us a chance to talk about our superpowers. And if you guys want to grab your superpower assessment, it's free. Go to DeRosaGroup.com/superpowers. Take your own superpower assessment.
I've got a comment on this little picture. So at our networking event, I had this picture. I was scrolling through pictures on my phone with somebody, and they brought up the fact that if you look at the handwriting and how the words are laid out on these stickers, it is actually the perfect example of how these personalities lay out. Right. Yeah. So the hunter on the R is already going off into the distance. The brain, very type A, started at the absolute left-hand corner. Right. The hammer is in bold, all capitals, like thick letters. And the money said, nope, I'm capitals and bump it. This is where it's at. Right.
Yeah. The money's kind of scribbled on there real quick.
Right. I was dying at kind of like the psych assessment of just this photo, but it was perfect.
That's great. If you got the money, we're actually like a signature, like a, Cool. Thanks. That's James Smith, one of our students from the boot camp. Just lots and lots. So many boot campers came up to us, including James, and talked to us about what he's learning right now and how he's been able to apply some of the technology from what we've taught. That is Jamie. She is one of our boot campers, just signed up. Guys, phenomenal. Awesome. I'm like excited we get to hang out with her, right? I mean, because she had such a cool background. Hervé, Tara, what was your interaction with her like?
Oh, it was like absolute rock star. I mean, just again, absolute rock star. The energy, the motivation that just flows off of this lady is contagious. And she's another one, just like Peter, like has no concept of the fact that she's got a boundary limit. Like there is nothing she can't do, and she is walking, living proof of it. I mean,
Hervé left her 6-figure job at an organization you might have heard of called Fundrise. That runs $1 billion crowdfunding platform. Left that. That's not enough for me. I want more than what this $1 billion company can give me that's centered around real estate. So I'm going to leave that job to go start a housing initiative, a property management company working on Airbnbs and STRs around the DC market. You talk about vision and courage, man. I mean, that's what we're talking about right there. And she just joined our accelerator program. How pumped are you to work with her, man?
Oh, man, I'm really, really excited. Listen, this is a person who, if there's a female version of Captain America, because she has a shield and just continues to go through brick walls like the kind that's behind Tara right now, man. I mean, I got a chance to speak with her a little bit more at our happy hour event on Monday night. And then I met her husband on the last night of the conference. I didn't know he was there that week, so it was great to meet him as well. But, if you get to speak with her and learn a little bit more about her personal life, Matt, the amount of oppression that she has faced in her professional life, the amount of just obstacles, walls that people have put from her to excelling to where she's wanting to get through. And she just barreled through each and every one of them. So she has a chink of an armor. She is tough as she comes. She knows what she wants. She has her goals set straight. And I'm just proud that she chose to work with us to help achieve those goals. And I'm looking forward to her, of just like sinking in everything that we have to offer.
These are the people that are joining our accelerator program. And so for those of you guys who want to hear more about it, that's who you're going to get to hang out with. Great dinner there. That's Andrew Cushman in the back corner. We had David Green pop in a little bit later. I've been really lucky to call Andrew a friend. There's Brianne Weber there, one of our former boot campers, and she's a rising star in the multifamily world. Was just on the Bigger Pockets podcast about a month ago. So just awesome. A lot of fun that night. Until the creamsicle margarita came out, and that just ruined my evening right there. And I'm so glad I pushed for it really hard and convinced everyone that's what we could get.
I was going to say that was kind of your pick there, Matt. And it was a stellar one.
So glad I did that. Yeah, that just ruined my night at about 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, oh, this needs to come back out. Okay. Yeah. Right. Aside from that, great times, guys. That's the action. We were the amount of folks who were hanging out around the boot camp. Pretty cool, Tara. There's Tara closing deals and making it happen there. Lazama, our Apache helicopter pilot, now DeRosa team member. So awesome stuff. It is Hervé probably closing somebody. There's Hervé making it happen there. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's Antonio. I forget Antonio's last name. Yeah, Antonio in Louisiana, broker in Louisiana, good friend of ours, great guy making it happen down in Louisiana. Keep an eye on him. He's probably going to be joining our accelerator as well. Yet another person that our accelerator students get to rub elbows with. This guy's really got himself plugged in. He's got his market nailed down. He's got what he wants teed up. And now it's a matter of scaling up on what he's got already and 10xing his business and really focusing on a growing market of the lower part of Louisiana. Interesting stuff, right, Hervé?
Well, and not only that, I mean, he might be expanding his market because while he was into his fifth drink at our happy hour on Monday night, he texted me a deal from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, here we go.
LootNet, and he was like, Hervé, tell me what you know about this market. I'm like, what is this guy doing? I mean, it was like a 15 unit. He was looking to dig in and whatnot. But then I had a great conversation with him on Monday night. He says he has a lot of things on his, but he's married. He has 2 little kids. I think one is like under 12 months old or something like that. He's running this brokerage and so on and so forth. So he wants to get a lot of things on his plate, but I think he's so excited to join the accelerator program. I think he has a lot of balls in the air. I think once he puts some of those down and he gets focused, he's going to be another one that takes off. He's going to be the one that takes off.
I think so too.
Yeah, I'm pumped up to
giving away keychains for the superpower assessment. That was fun, right? I got the money one on my keychain that I drive my car around in, and I think a lot of people are now driving around in their cars with superpower assessments because we really want to remind people of who they were for the market and the person they needed to be to grow their business. So I'm glad we were able to give those away as real applicable toys for people to have.
Yeah, of course. There you go.
Yeah, James Wilcox, active in Kentucky, used to work on our team on YouTube and then graduated beyond that. That is now active in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and one of our boots on the ground friends in Lexington. Oh, Hervé, tell the story of this guy.
I believe 22 years old, if he told us.
Started when he was 18.
Started when he was 18, 22 years old, read your book, Raising Private Capital, and I believe right there told you that changed his life.
Yes.
That everyone should be reading this book, Raising Private Capital. He was even reciting some phrases from the book, some quotes from the book that he applies to his business on a regular basis. I lost track the number of units that he owns because he owns several, as well as,
I remember how much money he raised. I think it was $7 or $9 million over the last couple of years.
Yeah, just in the past couple of years. So just an amazing story. He is another one. I mean, his trajectory is just straight up to the right because he is all energy all the time.
He and I shot a great video right there where he told a little bit more of his personal story. I hope we're able to get a copy of that content from because this guy's at that level right now where he's got a videographer following him around.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He's kind of like a young Henry Washington almost.
Yes.
And Matt, your book sold out at the conference, didn't it?
Yes.
It's awesome.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, a little bit from that's our brain circle that Hervé was running. Hervé holding court there with other folks that identified themselves as underwriters. Hervé laying the smackdown, teaching and giving them the rules of engagement for them about to go run around this room at this networking session we ran, which I thought was great. A lot of fun. And that's part of it right there. Everybody running around the room, meeting people and everything like that. Eric Lazama, get in line, maggots, giving him his military talk and everything like that, right? Yeah. So that's what we got, guys. There's me at the happy hour. That's me just holding court myself. I'm able to do that. I do that there. And of course, my wife to my left there, not listening. So
she's heard it.
That's so funny. Oh, I need to get a copy of that picture, Nabiku. Please send that to me so I can tease her to say, there's me telling everyone the rules of the world, and my wife checked out talking to someone else.
I think this was the beginning of your speech when you were talking about how DeRosa got started.
Yeah.
Of course, she knows the story because she
I
was there.
know. She's heard it all before.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, we got to tell this. I got the chance to tell the story, which I don't get to very often, of some of the impact that we've made in communities at DeRosa. Told the story of one of our prior tenants. We'll get a copy of that footage and we'll share it on YouTube as well. And then last one to kind of cap it all off,
Oh,
we
yeah.
all got to go to Islands of Adventure there at Universal Studios, go ride some roller coasters. I was running around with my wife's team and about to ride the Hulk. We didn't get a chance to get on that one because the line was too long. But we got to go ride roller coasters together, have a share a few
And
beverages.
if you look at behind the back of that picture, I'm looking up in the sky and I'm saying, nope, hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not getting on this roller coaster. No, it's not going to happen.
Any more fun ones?
It was a lot of fun. That was a great night. That was a great
Oh,
night.
the Hogwarts.
It really was.
Yeah. Until we got on the Harry Potter ride. New friends we got to make. That is Jerry Norton, who runs an academy for fix and flippers and has helped people flip literally thousands of houses around the United States. Jerry's a super interesting dude, lives part of the time in Montana and lives part of the time in Puerto Rico. And he told me about how one of his hobbies is in Puerto Rico hunting iguana because they are considered to be vermin there. And so it is a national pastime of hunting iguana because they're actually not they're not a native species. They were brought there kind of like bamboo was to the United States. You're kind of keeping the population down by running around hunting them. So that's a hobby of his. I'd love to go to Puerto Rico one day and hunt iguana with him. But he also has a fix and flip business where he teaches people how to rehab houses and sell them all across the United States. And we talked in this interview about how people can raise private capital out of their own. Saw that last picture. Raise private capital out of their own network to fix and flip. Proud of myself here with Tara's favorite classes. Yeah,
very nice.
Guys,
I would love to
have
the viewers weigh in on Matt's cute little glasses.
They're awesome.
No arms. They just balance on the bridge of his nose.
And they fit in the back of my cell phone. They are spectacular. I wished I'd invented them. That's Caitlin. She's become a good friend of DeRosa's. She runs the Bigger Pockets on the Money podcast. She is the executive producer of that program and of several other podcasts for Bigger Pockets. And I just was on the Money show. No, I was on the Market show. She runs that too. And I was really grateful for the very great conversation we had. And I was able to connect her with Hervé, who's our market guy. And she's talking about where the markets and then how they're changing and that kind of stuff. So we've developed a lot of good friends at Bigger Pockets here at DeRosa, and it's really great to connect with them there at the event. What you know that existed. Isn't that great?
Just taking off here.
Yeah, there you go. Andrew Cushman, good friend of ours. Great evening with him that night, and I done that. So, and it's Tony Brown, best shirts in the room. Right. He was on this feed a second ago. I don't know if he's still here, but Tony, as always, best dressed man at BPCON. Thank you for wearing phenomenal shirts as always. So we got to bring it home here. So Tara and Hervé, one last time. Why should someone consider traveling all the way to Cancun, Mexico for next year's BPCON? That's where the conference is next year in 2024. Why should BPCON be in people's Rolodex for attending? I'm sure DeRosa will be there. Why should folks consider joining us?
Because of the margaritas in Cancun. I mean, hello.
The beautiful sun of Mexico, but also awesome networking. What else you got? One more real reason.
It's going to be more of the same. It's going to be interesting to see Cancun. I'm sure it's the first time they're doing it outside of the U.S., so it's going to be interesting to see, how many folks wind up attending. I'm sure they're going to have a real big turnout. It's going to be a great time of the year to be in Cancun because the weather's going to be absolutely beautiful. And I'm sure the location, wherever they wind up, they have it in Cancun, it's going to be a beautiful location. Again, the networking, the education, meeting folks that are of your tribe, right? Whether they are single family, multifamily storage, whatever it might be, folks that flip farms, again, and so on and so forth, or just do midterm rentals to young professional hockey players. It is time well spent. It is resources well spent. You make connections with people that you could potentially do business with, and at a minimum, have continued conversations with for a long time. And if you come to our event, and I'm not saying this as a plug, but our event, I mean, you literally had, a brain meeting a hammer that did not know each other, but both interested in investing in the same market. And now they're exchanging their contact information because they want to stay in contact after the conference and potentially do deals in that market. That in of itself more than makes for attending and spending to attend the conference.
I'll second all of that with like a very loud ditto, and then add on like absolutely a plug. When you come to Cancun, definitely come to our events because they're all that in a bag of chips, right? Yep. For me, I think whether you're thinking about getting your feet wet in this or you've been doing it successfully, and just kind of rocketing along in your career for 10 years in this, the networking potential that exists at BPCON is huge. getting to see that aha moment when people have that epiphany about finding a new way to do something that they've been beating their head against, or meeting somebody like, Hervé saying, in their market that fits their deficit. So now we've got a complete team. It's brilliant. And then one thing that I will say that was a consistent factor with everybody that we met and connected with, the energy level that's coming out of this conference is huge. That kind of propels everyone's momentum. Everyone that I talked to was just so jazzed and so energized by everything that they'd learned and people that they'd met. And I think that's invaluable.
That's awesome. Well, guys, those of you guys watching, please come see us at the next BPCON. Great conversation. Sarah and Hervé, loved having you guys on today's Cash Flow Digest.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, yet another great Cash Flow Digest. Make sure you guys join us next Friday at noon Eastern Standard, because that's where we're going to be. We're going to be here. Where are you going to be? Be here, noon Eastern Standard, on the DeRosa Insiders Facebook page. Thank you for spending your time with us today. And you watching, have a great weekend. Talk to you soon, guys. Hey guys, Matt Faircloth here. Thank you for listening again to the Cash Flow Digest. I really appreciate you guys doing that. If you guys want to hear more about what DeRosa Group has to offer, go to DeRosa Group, DeRosa Group.com, DeRosaGroup.com online. You can hear about all the great things that we offer from an educational standpoint and passive investment standpoint on our website. See you there. And if you guys want to join our online community, DeRosa Insiders on Facebook, where you can watch this program get recorded every Friday at noon Eastern, and you can come on as even a guest or ask questions on the show. We hope to see you guys on our online community, DeRosa Insiders. See you there.